What's up, everybody? Welcome in. It is Thursday, September 2nd, 2021. It is week one. It is time. Football is here. We don't got just 5 games this week. We've got 28 games tonight. We've got games the rest of the weekend. It's a great time to be alive, and I'm here to break them down for you, take some of your questions, and have some fun here on a Thursday. We've got some big news coming up on Monday, really going to kind of map out my future. And I hope a lot of you are willing to come aboard with me. We're not really coming aboard. You're just going to get more. I'm going to be doing 6 shows a week. I'm going to be doing them all at great times in the afternoon and then 2 on the weekends at the same time. You're going to get dedicated content. You're going to get the best breakdowns possible. I'm going to bring my friends on the show, guys that know what the hell they're talking about, guys that you want to hear, and guys that I respect. And, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, but look, I got to charge a little bit for it. I got to make money. Okay, I have to live a life. I got a living. And content's not easy, spending time doing hour shows and 2-hour shows and live streams and hanging on a Saturday, stuff like that. Like that takes time. And content is king now, and people have ways now that they can do content. And I'm sure there'll be a few people that say, I'm not paying for that, but all right, well, it is what it is. I got to do what I got to do. And I'm hoping that you guys enjoy what I'm doing and you're willing to hang out with me. I'm going to do at minimum 25 shows a month. So that will come out on Monday. More info will come out Monday, and I hope to see you. And again, all this stuff will be, live. You're going to get it at the same time. You're going to get, the content that you want. There's no one on the internet that's going to sit there on a Saturday and go over every single game. There's just not anybody going to do that. And then when basketball comes, obviously we'll have some stuff for that as well. So, I will say, and I'll say this kind of right off the top, in our business that we're in right now, and I've kind of said this pretty openly, unfortunately, people like me, this person right here, for whatever reason, people haven't come calling. And, there'll be people that will laugh at that, but I got to go out and look, I've made money before. I've been in this business. So I go back to what I do best, but the offers didn't come in for me for sports, and people, they don't want to pay him. You're right. Nobody does want to pay me. Unfortunately, there are people that they would rather pay for me, and that's fair. I feel like though I have a talent and I'm good at something, and we can talk about games and have a good time. So I got to do what I got to do. And, we'll have more info on that next week. But let's get to some picks. Let's get to some previews. Let's get to some breakdowns. I want to say this now. I'm not going to break down FCS versus FCS. I'm not going to do that. This is strictly Division I. Let's start it off just with a couple of comments. August, what's happening? Thanks for checking out this show. Ethan, what's happening? Taylor H. Snooky Jeff. Yes, that was me very many years ago. I was a caller on radio. A lot of people don't know that, but I was a big-time caller on WIP in Philadelphia, and I had a crush on Snooky, and they called me Snooky Jeff. That is a correct story. Well, you'll see, Ethan. Not going to be a ton. It's going to be like $3 a show. I got to pay guests. I'm trying to get people to come on my shows, and I'm not going to ask them to come on for free. This show tonight's just going to be about tonight's games. Tomorrow we'll have a show on tomorrow's game. So if you're looking for tomorrow's action, maybe we'll get to that a little bit at the end. Dominique, what's happening? August, I hear college teasers are risky, but what about teasing down big spreads? Not something I'm looking to do, no. Matt, are you okay with flooding? We got wrecked in Jersey. Yeah, if you're in the flood areas, I hope everybody's okay. I did not have any issues with flooding. There were a couple of roads closed occasionally, but no, I didn't have any issues with any flooding. All right, so if you have a game, as the bottom ticker says, make sure you send it in, particularly on today. Or if you just have a situation in a game you want to talk about. You like an over, you like something like that, I'm here for you and what you want. Ryan McGee, thank you for checking me out. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. Matt Brott, appreciate you. How you doing? I'm doing well. All right, let's start it out with this one. Matt Berman checking in. He says Western Kentucky minus 22. Yeah, that's one I bet. I got to be honest. I played that last night pretty late. I was finally able to get a line on it, and it's kind of where I thought it would be. There's a couple of things about Tennessee Martin, the opponent, that I'm just kind of fascinated by, and I want to tell you about them. So their quarterback this year is Keon Howard, which if you remember that name, and I'm sure you do because he's played at like 6,000 schools. I'm not kidding. And I didn't go back and look this up. But Keon Howard, I feel like has been in college football literally since like 2013, 2014. This guy has bounced around all over the place. He was at Southern Miss. He was at another school. I forget where it was. He was at Tulane. Now he was at another FCS school. Now he's at Tennessee Martin. Like, this guy has played literally every year with another team. It's crazy. And now he's playing at Tennessee Martin. I guess he's just using all his eligibility. And he got that extra year with the COVID stuff. So it's crazy. I will say this about Tennessee Martin. They're a decent FCS program, if you know anything about them. But as many know, I'm really high on this West Kentucky group. I think offensively, they're going to be really, really good. Tyson Helton finally had, or not Tyson Helton. Who's their coach? Is it Tyson Helton down there? At West Kentucky. I got to look this up. I run in with sometimes. Tyson Helton. What am I saying? I think it's his third season there. He finally has the pieces in place to make a real run, right? And I think there's important things to understand about what West Kentucky is. Defensively, they're actually pretty good. When you look at it, they give up 25 points a game last year on a bad team. And a lot of people say, well, that's not great. It's not bad. Bad is giving up 35 points a game. 25 points a game on a bad team is pretty good. And if they do that this year, they're going to win a lot of games because the quarterback coming in, Bailey Zappi, I talked about this on some of the platforms I've been on. This guy at Houston Baptist was incredible. Really, really good quarterback. Comes from a up-tempo, air raid offense under Vic Shealy. He comes over to West Kentucky. This guy is going to sling the ball around sans Brandon Dowdy did a couple years ago at West Kentucky. He brings over his top two receivers, Joth and Jarrett Stearns, brings over Ben Retzlaff, the tight end. They bring over the offensive coordinator. This offense is going to hum. So the question is, how does that look game one against an inferior opponent? I think it's going to look pretty damn good, especially because I know I'm actually getting a pretty good defense here. I would have probably bet this at 24. 22, I think it's a pretty damn good number. I played it personally, bet it this morning. And I think what I'm going to do on the platform that I'm going to go to kind of on my own is I'm probably going to show everything I'm wagering on. And again, whether you wager on it, it's up to you. You're not paying for my picks. You're paying for my content. Whether you want to bet this, all you guys bet your own games. I think it's really hard to sell picks now because most people don't want to just bet one or two games. I will always give you my opinion on all these games. So I'll tell you what I'm personally betting, what I'm personally not betting. Paul Decker, what's happening? So, yeah, I'm comfortable because I know Bailey Zappi, we're not coming up in game one and facing, a Division I opponent right away. This guy has ultra experience against this type of competition, and at least on the surface, I think they're going to put up some points tonight. I'd be really surprised if they don't get to 35 here. And when I look at the number, this game just kind of screams to me like 42-13, something like that. I have no problem. I think they're going to definitely set a tone. They're going to keep the foot on the gas. And I think they're going to take care of an inferior opponent. So I did play the 22, Matt Berman. Mark Lewis, how you doing? Great to hear from you. I thank all of you for checking in. I'm happy with where we are. Really, the first week we're doing this, and we're up almost to 100 people live. So I'm pretty happy with that. I know this channel, down the, off the wall has been random, but we're going to get back to some normalcy, and we're going to obviously head to Patreon as well. All right, Cameron Jennings. I grabbed Ohio State 13.5 earlier today. Yeah, or grabbed it earlier. Yeah, this is a tough game. It really is because when you look at both sides here, okay, so you're getting obviously a great number. And if I have to play this, I'm going to agree with you, Cameron, because I don't want to fade Ohio State. I just don't. I don't want to be sitting there with a Minnesota team that I know is inferior to the opponent they're playing. I know CJ Stroud's good. I know they have quite arguably the best receiving core in the country. The problem and concern that I have, and I think this could bleed through here with your bet, is A, the line, and that they're saying play this, play this, play this. Minnesota's a good football team. I'm going to say that now. They have good quarterback play. They have one of the best running backs in the country. I think a guy that could really be a dynamic, and we already know he's a dynamic running back in Ibrahim. But is Ohio State's defense, are they going to be the issue this year? I look at Ohio State this year, I think they're going to be a lot like we've seen out of Oklahoma the last couple of years. Really good offensively, but I think they're always going to be on the back foot defensively. I just do. And with Minnesota, the number that I was hoping to grab in this kind of game, 16.5, 17. Just being frank. I think it dips a little too low if you're Minnesota. And again, I just don't want to be sitting on my hands the entire time and saying, they go up 21-7 and you're like, fuck, man, why did I do this? I just don't think you're going to make a lot of money betting against Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson. You just aren't. And do I think Minnesota's solid? They could be in this game? Sure. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to get a team to test a team, this is probably the situation you're looking for, right? Pretty good football team, well coached, going to be well prepared, a new team with a new quarterback, but we all know they always have great athletes. There's just a lot that I don't like about it. I think it'll be a great game to watch, but I'm not interested in betting it. Alex Warner, I need your thoughts on Tennessee Bowling Green. I feel like Guarantano is an addition by subtraction, but obviously Milton is sketch as well. Bowling Green is bad, but can they cover 36.5? Well, I think if you're going to have an opportunity to show your faithful, and by I mean faithful, Tennessee's fan base is damn faithful, okay? They absolutely love their football, a little bit too much. But I'll tell you this, if you want to get them on your good side, you've got to put 50 on the board in this game. You gotta. Bowling Green is dreadful. They were dreadful defensively last year. They've been dreadful, I think, for as long as I've been betting college football. And they had kids transfer. There should be no reason. This is one of the worst run defense in the country last year. This is one of the worst overall defense in the country last year. If you are Tennessee, you must put 50 on the board tonight, and you're going to have the ability to do so. Your offensive coordinator, your offense, this offense shouldn't have any problem moving the football. It's that simple. You can't come into this game and win 31-13. You've got to put a crooked number up. This Bowling Green team is not any good. You have the ability. You look at the kids that are going to come out here for Tennessee. And I know, I don't love Joe Milton either. I don't love Hendon Hooker. But I'll tell you right now, they should not have any problem moving the football. None. This offense is going to be fast. They're going to be up-tempo. And they're going to be just much better than their opponent. You look at the running backs. There's a lot to like there. They bring in a high-end junior college player. This offense scored over 30 points a game last year. The problem I have with Tennessee and what I'm concerned about is defensively. Can they get enough stops? Because at the end of the day, this could be a game where at that number, you're playing in a lot of garbage time. If this is 51-10 late, are you feeling good about it? If I like Tennessee, what I would do if I played this game is I would be looking towards Tennessee's point total. I don't want to worry about their defense. Could they shut them out? Yeah, probably. Could this be 51-0? Yeah, sure. I think they get to 50. That's just my thought. Could this be 55-10? Yeah, that's what it has. That's what it really should be. But when you look at this number, team total over, it's 48.5. God, I wish it was 47.5. It seemed to me like a 51-13 type of game. 52-13, if we get the numbers right. So if I'm looking here, that's where I would go with it. Because when you're laying 36.5, you need to win by 5 touchdowns plus. 34.5 is a little different. Because if it's 41-0 or 42-0, I'm sorry, that late touchdown doesn't bury you. And this could be 42-7. I figure this is high 40s, mid 50s. That's where I have Tennessee at in this game. If I'm Tennessee, I'm not looking at the scoreboard until I hit 50. Remember in Friday Night Lights, the coach, they zoom in on his finger, he's just doing that. That's what I'm doing in this game. I'm showing my fan base that this defense might not be great, but this offense is exciting. And Guarantano, he's out. Bye-bye. Maybe we have some quarterback play here. Joe Milton might not hack it, at Michigan. Maybe this is a better system for him. And I'm probably sure it is, because that fucking system's stuck in the goddamn 80s. So, to answer your question, I hope I answered it. Thoughts on Utah laying 28? I'm not interested. And it's not that I'm not interested in laying 28. I'm not going to say that. I'm not interested in betting this. I want to see Utah a game or two. I just want to make sure that, I'm really high on Utah. I'm really high on them. From a betting standpoint, I'm going to wait a little bit. They should cover, though. If you're asking me, should you lay it? I'm not taking the points with Weber State. The thing about Weber, though, you're talking about a top 10 FCS team. You're talking about a defense that's really good. My concern in this game is this is going to probably be 35-3, 35. That's where it's going to be in this game. I don't think Utah's going to put 60 on the board. The pace is not going to be like that in this game. Weber will struggle to move the football. I would probably look at Weber's team total under, if anything, because I think Weber, I want to isolate their offense because I don't think it's very good. Utah is legit on defense. Fucking legit. If they scored more than 10 points, I would consider it a failure if you're Utah. So that's how I would look there, because you're just hoping that the defense, which you trust for Utah, shows up. If, God forbid, let's say Brewer doesn't play that well, and this is, 24-7, you don't get beat. Because this team total, let me see what we're at here. I would think it's probably around, 10 or 13, I'd have to imagine. Totally 48.5. Wow, 9.5. There you go. That's not a great number. I was hoping 10.5 or 13 or something like that. 9.5. So you got a touchdown to play with. Probably where it should be 42-7. That's kind of where I would hope this is. Brendan Galloway. And going forward, if I don't hit your game to the end of the show, we've already talked about it. Just saying. And I'm going as it's kind of asked here. Brendan Galloway, thanks for checking this stream out, brother. Appreciate you. Also, hit the like button, guys. If you're in here, we got 100 people in here. Hit the like button. Please do that. Thank you. Brendan Galloway, what do you think about wow, you're getting Boise State +7. How about that? You're not – please let me know. I don't know if are you buying half a point there? I feel like you are. And I got to tell you, I'm not a big half-point buyer. I'm kind of just hoping that it just shakes out and I get 7. I got to tell you, I don't mind a half a point buy here. I just don't, because I don't know if it'll get to 7. That's a pretty big kind of transformation from a book to take from 6 and 7, especially in a game like this. You know what I like in this game? And I actually played it this morning for half a unit. I like Boise State's team total over in this game. I think they get to 30. Their team total is 29.5. I feel like this game is first to 40 wins. And I heard a quote from Boise's offense today, their offensive coordinator who comes over from UC Davis, which, if you know anything about FCS, big-time program offensively. He made a comment that they're, quote, not going to look at the scoreboard until they hit 50. That's the goal in every game. And I'm going to tell you now, last year, yards per game allowed, UCF 120th. Let me put that into perspective. That was with Richie Grant, an NFL talent. He's gone now. I have some real questions about this Central Florida defense. And with these two offenses, hello, mile a fucking minute, folks. That's what it's going to be here. Both teams have very good quarterback play. Both teams want to move the football. Both teams want to go up and down. We know how vertical UCF likes to play, throwing the ball downfield. This is going to be a fun one. Firework, folks. But I like that Boise offense. I love Buckmeyer. I love Sears. I love Holani. I love Shakir. I think he's the best receiver in the country. Yeah, I said that. Khalil Shakir is the best receiver in the country. I'll gladly take that offense against this defense. I think this will be a fun game. This will be the game I'm watching tonight. Put it that way. So, yes, I did play Boise State's team total over in this one. All right. I will get to all your questions, I promise. People will ask me, who do I think wins this game? If I'm looking at a money line tonight, it would be the Boise State Broncos. I don't understand this one. I got to tell you, I don't understand the level in UCF. I just don't. I'm not a big Gus Malzahn guy. Do I like the quarterback? Sure. Gabriel's great. But there's not a whole lot I like about them otherwise. I don't know how you could say on paper that Boise State's not a better football team than UCF. I don't see it. Especially game one. You got all sorts of time to prepare. This was game two, well, maybe. But if I had to play a money line, which I'm not telling you I am, that's where I would go with it. Mile High, what's happening? Thanks for checking out the show. He says NC State minus 19. Listen, South Florida, I have some real concerns in this game. This offense is, I don't know where they're going to move the football at. I don't think Cade Fortin has the ability to do that. My concern with them as well is I watched some tape last year of them against, I think it was ECU or somebody else. They really struggle with big receivers. They got C.J. Johnson beat them up last year. And one thing I know about NC State, there are two things. Well, actually, there are three things that I really like about this offense. One of which, the quarterback. I like Leary. I think he really gives them some consistency at the quarterback position. They have, in my opinion, the best offensive line in that conference. Really good. And they have two big receivers that I think are really going to give that undermanned, under-athletic secondary for South Florida. They think they give them some problems. I don't think they can run the football South. I think this is going to – 19, I was surprised to see it that low. Just telling you. I think you're onto something there, Mile High, and I can't tell you I don't agree with you. I really worry here. NC State, what is their team total in this game? Let me look that up. I have them written down here. 38.5. I mean, it seems like 44-17, doesn't it? So it seems like to me. The fact that it's under 3 touchdowns is pretty helpful. Pretty helpful. I know you posted futures throughout, but what Heisman picks do you have? Let me go through what I have. Let me get my thing up here. Hold on a sec. I'm not logged in. Let me look at FanDuel. I do have Malik Willis. I bet that a while ago. I think I have 150 to 1 on Malik Willis. I took Zappy 250 to 1. The players that I think have the best chance, I took Rattler at what would it be? At what 6.5 to 1, I think it was, plus 650. I took Daniels 14 to 1. And then, I haven't bet it yet, but Purdy's interesting to me at 40 to 1. But yeah, those are, I think, the 5 I took. All right. Nathan Bingham says, no way Tennessee covers 36.5. Well, I guess we'll see, won't we? It's hard for me to do it and bet that. It's not a great number, and we just know what Tennessee is. I like them. I think they score points. But that game could be 51-17, and or 49, 20 or something. So yeah, I hear you. Boise State's team total over 31.5. Yeah, it's like I said, I got 29.5. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it seems like first to 40 wins, maybe 35. Danny Meyer, what's up? Why are people trying to talk themselves into Minnesota? They were a bad team last year. They have a good line and running back, but the defense is suspect. Yeah, and they lost Rashad Bateman as well, the top target. Do you like, I think the defense will figure themselves out. They usually have good corners there, whether it's St. Juste or Winfield or whoever. So, I hear you, though. You're not even getting a good number. If you're getting 17, all right, maybe I take a shot, But I think this game shakes a lot out like UCLA, Hawaii did. If I'm just being frank. Ohio State's just better, faster, stronger, more athletic, right? That's how I see it. Kevin Harrington, Buckmeyer is solid. He's better than solid. He's great. What do you think about Tennessee? Jason Merriman, what's up? What do you think? It's Merriman. What do you think about Tennessee Bowling Green under 60? Well, look, again, I had Tennessee for 50. mean, if I'm looking under there, I would hope for more like 64, 60, 51-10, you lose. Why not just play Tennessee's team total and not worry about anybody else? If they don't get the 50, don't get the 50. It is what it is. That's how I look at gambling anymore, right? I use what I know from lines. I look at personnel. I look at what I think, and I just put it all together. I have no regrets with gambling I make. Look, Nebraska, I took them last week. What are you going to do? I know that this is not a one-game thing. That's how I know somebody's a complete novice simp when it comes to gambling. If they come at me and break my balls over one pick or even a week of picks, I know they're complete imbeciles. Like, this is not how this works. You're going to lose. There are going to be weeks where you lose 70% of the bets you make. There are short times where you'll win 70% of the bets you make. You're not going to do that long term. The goal long term is to try to carve out 55% in the predictions that you make. There's not a science to this. So, I think every person in these chats, they get that. The only people that behave like, oh, you lost Nebraska, you fucking suck, are simps. They don't know shit about gambling. These are the guys that either aren't betting or, they think they're going to make $10,000 every Saturday. And they're betting $10. They're putting in 17 team parlays. That's not a winnable strategy. Not that I have all the ideas either. I'm just trying to, again, teach you some of the bad beats that I've had over the years because I've been doing this a long fucking time, whether you like me or not. All right. What's up, big man? Virginia Tech stinks, and I'm loving the 6. I have having trouble with that game because, not on the game itself, but is that game tonight or tomorrow? Because I saw 8 o'clock Friday, and then FanDuel had it tonight at 10:30. FanDuel has it at 10:30 tonight. When is that fucking game? Is that tonight or tomorrow? Can we get a fucking answer on that? When the hell is that game? I could have sworn it was Friday. What the fuck is that game? Virginia Tech tomorrow. Okay, that's what I thought. Who the fuck knows? FanDuel has it at 10:30 tonight. They had it at 8 o'clock tomorrow. I don't know when that game is. I don't look at times a lot of the time. We'll talk about that tomorrow, Ryan, for sure. I think Minnesota will be able to run pretty successfully. Question marks front 7. Yeah, but again, do you really want to trust Minnesota to be more athletic? And it's a hard thing to say. I'm going to get to all your comments. Paul Decker says Boise money line. I don't hate it. As I said earlier, I don't hate it. Do I like NC State? We talked about that one. I definitely would lean that way for sure. Give us soccer picks. Keep in mind, the domestic leagues are off. We have the international break. What did I play today? I think the only game I played today was Belgium against Estonia. I think they put up 5 probably. Belgium in the over 3.5. I played that, but I'm kind of focused on football. We'll be back with Serie A on I think they're back to the 12th or the 11th. Ryan McGee, if you like App State, should you take 8 now? 8's a pretty good number. I mean, keep in mind that number was 12.5 a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, you're getting a great price with 8. People love them some ECU. As I said with ECU though, they are not very good in the trenches. Okay, they just aren't. When you look at that game, that has been seemingly a favorite of sharps on the total. From what I understand, that total's being bet down. They like the under there. But I think 8.5. When you look at Chase Bryce, look, I like ECU, but Chase Bryce for App State, that's a good football team. ECU, again, are not good defensively. I don't think they're good in the trenches. They never are. And they lost their best offensive lineman, Deontay Smith. He went to the NFL last year. They always seem to get beat off the point of attack. That's my concern with ECU. And App State, you're getting a very favorable number at this point. Again, like I said, that number a couple of weeks ago, yeah, you get the opener on ECU, okay. But now you're under that double-digit mark, 31-21, you win. A couple of weeks ago, you weren't going to win that. So, from a number standpoint, Ryan, for sure, I think if you like it, 8's a great price. Ryan Gilbert, great content as always. Appreciate the information. Thank you, Ryan. You've been around for a long time. I thank you for your support. I thank you for your hospitality, being kind. Shea Rio, as an ASU fan, I know Southern Utah is trash, but 44.5 seems a bit high. Yeah, I guess especially if you see some of the things going on with that program, off the beaten path, right? You see the I'm going to sit back and chat for a second about this. If you see some of the things going on with the program, you worry, right? But Southern Utah, as was shown last week, and you look at Southern Utah, they had a pick 6 in that game. I mean, they had some things go their way. So you got to figure out what's not going to happen. But yeah, I mean, for you to feel comfortable, you need a 55 spot in this game. So if you're asking me, with this guy on my shirt, with a gun in my head, what are you picking? Yeah, I'm gonna lay it. I'm not gonna take the points and pray with Southern Utah. This is not the situation I want to be in. But I think there are just better options. I would, if you're a fan, I would just watch the game. I don't even know if you'll do that because it'll be over pretty early. Your first half in this game is probably gonna be what? 40. I mean, you're gonna have to be up 31-0 at the half. Maybe you just take a shot there. Because if they're not 31-0, they're not going to cover 44. So maybe you get all the starters. And look, Arizona State's got bigger fish to fry. So how long do you have your backups in here? You could have the whole second half your backups in. So yeah, in games like this, generally I'm going to look first half because I don't really because Arizona State is not West Kentucky. Arizona State is a team that have way bigger fish to fry than the Southern Utah Thunderbirds, right? So Southern Utah's taking that check, though. They took it last week. They're going to take it this week. They're going to get crushed. So Julian says team total over for Tennessee. Yeah, we talked about that one. It was, I think, the first one we talked about. What individual team scores the most points this weekend? I got to be honest. Maybe Ole Miss. Ole Miss might put up 60. Boise. I would love Boise to do that tonight. I'll give you an answer Saturday on that. All right. Josh, what's up, brother? Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Also, guys, if you're in here right now, you see on the bottom there, that little ticker, Thrive Fantasy. I urge you, go download the app. They're a partner for me on the sit down. They have a huge contest coming up for week 1 of the NFL. Player Prop Fantasy, $100,000 guaranteed contest. I urge you. I have the link in my description here on the video. Please click that. Get involved. I love these people. They're the official betting partner for fantasy of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I have a good relationship with these guys, and I like this app. I use it personally. I want to kind of get the red tape out of there and just deal with these kind of startup companies that have some money behind them. They're great people, and they have really cool contests. So go check them out. NFL is coming next week. $100,000 contest. I think $20K to the winner. You get all, they're going to pay out multiple places. In the description below of this video, click, sign up, get involved. And if you like me, put a couple dollars on there and support them. They're great people, and I thank them for being involved in what I'm doing. All right. Do I have any leads on Western Illinois, Ball State? We have a line in that game. Let me get to it here. That's not tonight, I don't believe. So no, we're not gonna talk about that tonight. Oh no, it is tonight. I'm sorry, 31. Yeah, look, Ball State is a interesting football team. We always are infatuated by the MAC, aren't we? I obviously talked about Northern Illinois. Miami of Ohio is always interesting with Chuck Martin. He's been there forever. But this Ball State team, you got to be pretty excited if you're Mike New. I mean, they're off a 7-1 season. Offense is never the problem. They have a great offensive group. I love Drew Plitt. Really for the MAC, it's always the question of, do you have a good defense or do you have a fucking terrible defense? And look, I don't love Ball State. I don't love their defense, but it's not going to be a problem here against Western Illinois. So again, against these types of teams, the question is, do I want to lay the number or do I not? Is Ball State a team that I want to lay a number with like that? Probably. And Drew Plitt's really good. He's really good. And I think their defense is good enough. They should cover and win by I think it should be 44-10 or something, 44-7. Yeah, I wouldn't have any trouble laying that. Neil Schneider, looking forward to the college basketball show. Yeah, that's going to be here one way or another, whether it's on my own, whether it's on a resource. I don't know. And a lot of people are asking me, Jeff, what's going on with Barstool? Nothing. I have not been given any word. And I got to move. I'm not moving on. I'm just doing my own thing. I got to make money. I have a things to late last year when I was with Barstool. I still have my own business. I was still doing shit. And I was allowed to do that. That was something that in the contract I was allowed to do. I was an independent contractor for them. But they have not contacted me. It seems like they're going other ways with things. So, and look, I left, and I'm doing my thing. We had some days in the sun. I went up there. I was great. I appreciate it. But yeah, I think for me, I was hopeful to get the sit down there. Because I think the sit down would fly there. I really do. And I'm open. People want to contact me about that. That's the show that is killing it. I mean, I'm doing super well with that. Whether you like it or you don't, the show has done really well. So that we'll never know. But yeah, I haven't heard from anyone from there since Friday. So I got to move on. Not move on, but I gotta get to what I'm doing. It's football season. I do what I do regardless. Thrive is awesome. Jeff put me on the promo. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that. You're very kind. Thank you for getting involved there. Do you like Ohio State, Minnesota? No, I didn't play that game personally. If I had to play it, I would lean on the Buckeyes. If you had one pick, I hate these questions. I don't play that kind of stuff. I bet the stuff I like. I did play West Kentucky. I did. I played Boise State's team total over. I don't like those questions, though, because I don't have these things where it's like, I like this game more than another. Like, I just like games and I play them. I don't really use I like this game way more, so I'm going to play. I don't do it like that. Lego Batman, what's happening? How you doing, bro? Good to see you. I thank you for that. It says, looking good, homie. I am looking good. I'll tell you what, yesterday I was out working out in the fucking rain. I went into my gym in my building. I was doing some lifting, and I'm actually, really starting next week, I'm going to get with my trainer for 4 days a week. So we're going to hopefully see some real definition. I have a little bit developing up top here. But I gotta get some more direction and where I'm going. Like, I have some machines in the building over there, but they're not. I need to get a little higher. I need to go a little bigger with it, and I need someone that is. But it's so hard to find good trainers. That's kind of the thing. You got to find people that you A, like, and B, are good at it. And so I got to find that person. So hopefully in my area I can find somebody. Mike Milley lost mad weight. Salute. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you. All right. Do we have any other questions? We've been on for about 40 minutes here. Any questions, I'd be happy to answer on anything. I feel like we hit pretty much all the games, at least for today, in Division One. Did I miss any? Let me see here. I don't believe I did. I got to tell you, I'm surprised because Eastern Washington's actually a favorite against UNLV. So that goes to show you how good Eastern Washington is. And it's not really an upset. I guess you're hoping you get a better price on that game, but the books feel like EW should be here, and they should. I mean, UNLV blows. But I think we hit every Division One game as far as I know. Wagner, Buffalo, keep in mind, Buffalo doesn't have Lance Leopold anymore. Okay? These aren't those vintage teams. But again, it's fucking Wagner. So even like low-level Buffalo can still beat Wagner like 45-0. So you're really scraping the bottom of the barrel when you're willing and wanting to let. Now, again, it's really, where do you have Wagner, right? Do you have Wagner as like the dredges of like the FCS, which there kind of are? Does Albania have a chance today? Yeah, sure. I mean, the question that Albania always has is, can they score goals? Poland is not exactly a great defensive side, but they do have Kamil Glick and players of that nature. So they are capable of being very good defensively. The only teams that Albania generally has an ability to score against is going to be Belarus or Andorra or Israel or teams like that. When you're getting up to the like decent European sides like Poland, it becomes tougher. Albania, the problem that the country has is they don't have great strikers, right? They're more of a setup defensively. They're the old school Italian type of model. They're good defensively. They don't really have a ton of quality going forward. And it's about stringing passes together and that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard. All of our strikers in war-torn Kosovo and Albania went to Switzerland. And like a lot of the high-end Switzerland players, like Ahmed Mehmedi, he's in Belgium. Adnan Januzaj, Jordan Shaqiri, Granit Xhaka, Tolan plays on Albania, but Granit Xhaka is at Arsenal. He's Albanian. Like all these guys are Albanian. Husaj, he was at Napoli. He's Albanian. Strakosha, he's Albanian. He's a Lazio. Like there's so many Albanians that they don't play on the Albanian team because their parents left when they were kids because of war. So it kind of sucks. If they all were on this team, Albania would be legit. Or Kosovo, for that matter. Are you bringing the deep dive back this year? So into one game. Yeah, we'll probably do that on Patreon. But yeah, I mean, we're on Patreon. What I'm going to do is every show we're going to have your deep dive pick, right? So that's going to be the game that we're going to kind of highlight. That's kind of the game of the day. So yeah, that'll be on there for sure. And I thank you for liking it. I thought it was quality as well. So yeah, Patreon's coming. I hope to see you guys. I really do. And I know that people are going to say like, oh, the money. But guys, again, we got to look at content creators as what they are. They're working. They're trying to make money. I got to earn a living. I can't sit here and do all this stuff for free. So I would love to do it, on a website for somebody, but when you get lemons, sometimes you got to make the lemonade, and I got to do that. I've sold picks before. A lot of people have supported me. It's the same thing. I'm just trying to add more to it and do Patreon where I can do videos and I can bring people on. And look, I want to pay these people to come on. I can't tell people, hey, I need you for an hour every week, but you got to do it for free. Time is money. I'm going to try to pay them. So if I can make a nut doing this, I'm going to go to those people and say, hey, thanks for coming on. Here's, this and that, So you got to be attractive. Time is money, man, as they say. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate you checking me out. I'll be back tomorrow. And obviously, we're going to have set times when we do these shows every day, starting on Monday. So make sure you obviously read the fine print. I'll have more information over the weekend about that. But also, if you like the Mafia, you like Mafia history, please check out my podcast, The Sit Down, Unorganized Crime Podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, you can get just some great stuff. We did a show Wednesday, Neil Delacroce. Without Neil Delacroce, there's no John Gotti. It's that simple. It's just that simple. So, all right. Everyone have a great day. I guess I'll kind of leave this with what I bet. I did take West Kentucky. I played the 22 there. I did take Boise's team total at 29.5. I still am kind of deciding on NC State and Tennessee, but those are the couple that I personally played on my FanDuel account. So you have a good night. Thanks everybody for watching. And if you ever have any questions, you're welcome to reach out to me on Twitter. And we'll see you next time. Tomorrow we'll be on here. We'll be at here same time, same place, 1:00 Eastern. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the show so you never miss one of these. Bye-bye.